Good afternoon, guys. So we have 1960s PowerPoint number 6. This is a giant section, as you guys already know, because you have had the notes for a while. This part is going to deal with the Warren Court, and mentioned before, the Warren Court is the second most important Chief Supreme Court Chief Justice, along with his court and then their decisions. John Marshall being the first. We had John Marshall Court in first semester, so we're going to have to review him coming up here real soon, guys. With Chief Justice Earl Warren, appointed in 1953 by Eisenhower. Again, his court is considered to be one of the two creative periods in U.S. history, including with John Marshall. Again, the leader of the first great creative. In other words, some majority landmark decisions happening and really changed things within the United States, or really influenced what was going on within the United States. So it's important to, excuse me, it's important to note that. They stress personal rights, especially the First Amendment, and placing them in a preferred constitutional position. And we'll see throughout the cases how this reflects the Warren Court. The first case right off the bat, guys, again, with Earl Warren being appointed in 1953 by Eisenhower, is the Brown versus Board of Education case, desegregation of public schools. You had reapportionment decisions, meaning one person, one vote. And this does require a little bit of explanation, guys. What this meant is basically county districts that became districts for senators, and actually more specifically congressmen, were kind of set up for uh, kind of the didn't they didn't take into account the growth within an area. So basically, this led to this idea of, basically, if everybody's vote doesn't count equally, because each congressional district, was a different size in population. So they each got one representative, no matter what population size they were. So basically, what they did, they redrew the lines as best they could to match, so that each congressional district would have one senator, one congressman. And what that did was, it basically meant everybody's vote kind of counted the same. And so they've done, from the Warren Court on, they've done the best they can to redraw districts so that each individual's vote counts, as equally as they can. It's kind of a complex issue, but you guys will learn more about that actually in government next year. So another important element to the Warren Court is rights of the accused. So you had a few cases here: Gideon versus Wainwright. This whole notion of, if you're accused of a crime, you have the right to a lawyer, even if you can't afford one. The Gideon case, Gideon actually became his own lawyer, but he did highlight the fact, the need for counsel, and so that one was important. Escobedo is another one, ruled that one has the right to a lawyer from the time of arrest, or when one becomes the subject of a criminal investigation. So that's why, if you ever watch cop shows or anything like that, you always see the guy, before they'll talk to the police, I need my lawyer. So those are two important rights that are protected. Miranda is probably the biggest one. The whole idea of that people are accused, they're informed of their rights. So the Miranda rights: right to remain silent, right to an attorney, anything you say can or will be used against you in a court of law. So all those reminders, police must say them, and so that's probably the highlighted case certainly out of these three. Another case involves school prayer, Engel versus Vitale, banning school prayer and religious exercises in public schools. So this is one where, that's why we just kind of solidifying separation of church and state within the schools. And granted, we do have, we say one nation under God. We have, Fellowship of Christian Athletes and Christian Club and things like that. But again, nothing that is mandated within the school day, meaning that it has to happen. Another one with birth control, Griswold v. Connecticut, declared that bans on contraception was unconstitutional, so it's protecting women's rights to birth control, essentially. And the Constitution protects right to privacy in this case. So that's what the Warren Court. And as you can see, guys, the Warren Court, if we had to categorize it, protection of the First Amendment, relatively liberal compared to some of the other courts that we've seen where they were more conservative. And so this is an important one to worth noting. That one was a little 5-minute, guys, not too bad. So there will be a couple more tonight, though. Just warning you ahead of time, because tomorrow both classes will be starting Vietnam. So I hope you guys learned a little bit more about the Warren Court.